I'm Fathi Osman. I'm a graduate of the College of Fine and Applied Art in Sudan. I studied painting mainly, and then I moved to Budapest where I had my higher diploma in painting and then my doctoral degree from Ulrich Laurent University in Budapest on history of art. What I do is basically I'm an artist, I'm a writer, and curator. That is what I do. This exhibition we are in now, in this Almas gallery, is the third exhibition in a series of events that organized by Almas to celebrate Sudanese art of the last 80 years. The first one was the Pioneers exhibition, which was held back in June last year, 2025. And this one is about the second generation who mainly graduated between mid-60s and late 70s of the 20th century. And this is to show, how the progress of this Renaissance art movement happened. Because we started in 1946 with the School of Design and the first batch of the pioneers who came to UK to study later on in different specializations. Painting, architecture, pottery, and so forth. This generation went back to Sudan and took the role of teaching the second generation, which we are showing their work now. So it is a kind of continuation between the generations, and the history of the visual art can easily be segmented into a number of generations. The pioneers, the second generation, and then the third generation, which, from 1980 till the early 2000, and then the current generation of the young artists who are dominating the scene, of course, now. So this exhibition was basically to show the variety of the work that has been done by these artists and to show the influence of the social, economical, political situation they lived in Sudan. So it is a panorama of this second generation. And you can see, from all the work shown here, that it is different in style, it is different in mediums and in concepts and in technical execution and all that. So it gives a very good idea about what the second generation has achieved in this sense. Do I see myself as a gatekeeper by doing this kind of activities, writing and curating art of Sudanese artists? Not really. I'm not a gatekeeper because gatekeeping for such activities needs more than one hand and more than one person to do it. And in reality, there are a number of people who are taking this task on their shoulders. I can name a few, like Salah Hassan, the Professor Salah Hassan, Salah Hassan Abdullah, Muhammad Abdurrahman Hassan Bob, Hassan Muhammad Musa, and so forth. A number of people are really quite interested in keeping this legacy of the Sudanese art by means of writing, by means of documenting and curating exhibitions and all that. So it is an effort of a group of people, not an individual. And I'm doing my bit, actually. I'm just contributing whatever I can by writing books, by curating exhibitions, and by talking about the contributions, achieved by the Sudanese artists since the 1940s of the last century. So that is what I'm trying to do. Because the formal education, of art at the higher level has started by the School of Design in 1946, which was part of the Gordon Memorial College. and then moved to the Khartoum Technical Institute and became the College of Fine and Applied Arts. So that date is very important because it signs, the beginning of the formal modern art teaching in Sudan. Before that, of course, there is art practiced in Sudan, but in this form of the Western style education, it has started in 1946. So it is an important date that needs to be mentioned. But since then, things evolved, of course, in different ways. And we saw the contribution made by Sudanese artists in the modern art movement in Africa, in the Middle East, and worldwide since the 60s and until now. And there were so many names. People always refer to, when talking about modern art in Africa and the Middle East, like Ibrahim al-Salahi, like Shibrain, Kamala, Ibrahim Ishaq, and there are some other people who were not as known as these people, like Muhammad Omar Khalil in New York, who was one of the best printmakers in the world, maybe I can say. And there are other names, like Dajasir Ahmad, so many names that Osman Wagi Allah, Muhammad Ahmad Abdullah Baro, they contributed big time, to the art movement in Africa and the Middle East, although they didn't receive the recognition they deserve sometimes. Everything, we do in terms of writing or curating, it is in a way an archival effort because it keeps, these artworks from being neglected altogether or disappear altogether. So it is an archival effort as well. And actually, in the case of Sudan, we need this kind of activity simply because even before what happened lately, the war in Sudan and all that, the effort of archiving the artwork was minimal. And it was underfunded, and it was sometimes not funded at all, actually. And funny enough, we don't have even a national gallery in Sudan where you can find all these works and see them. So, all the effort being done now by different people, by different organizations, is an act of archiving the Sudanese art. Especially, we are lucky, a little bit lucky, because now in the digital world, you can do a lot with archiving these works, and you don't have to have a physical presence for the work itself. So yes, all this is in line with the archiving activities of Sudanese art. The work of the artist of the second generation, which is this was an operational term actually. You can't really specify exactly, who belongs to that and who don't. But for a practical reason, we said, the second generation, and we chose those who graduated between the mid-60s and late 70s. And this generation has lived in an exceptional, time in the history of Sudan. It was the time of the October Revolution. It was the time of publication of the most famous novel in Sudanese history, Season of Migration to the North, by Taib Saleh. It was the time of a very vibrant cultural activities on the theater, on music, on art, on everything. So they lived a very, very active time. And that is reflected in their work by way or another. The selection of this group of work and the group of artists is based on the historical context rather than anything else. They are from the same generation. They represent this generation very well, and they represent the different paths they took, as individuals. So because they didn't follow one school or one trend, but rather they chose to do their own thing. Each one of them has done and developed his own way of creating his artwork. When you look at these paintings, you find, different themes, you find different symbols, you find different techniques, and that goes back to the choice of the artist, of course. But to me, the symbols and whatever you can see in the painting, it doesn't mean anything visually. That can be dictated by the artist himself. It depends on the perception of the viewer. So no matter what they put in their paintings, at the end of the day, it is the viewer who decides what it means for him, or her. So I'm not really keen on this kind of interpretation of the artwork, because to me, especially painting, is a visual thing, it's a purely visual thing. And even if you don't know the history of that area, or you don't know the language, or you don't know the symbols, still you can interact with these works. So it doesn't really of great importance, although it might look like as a certain feature for this artist or that, or for the whole group. But at the end of the day, it all depends on how the perceptions of these works happen. To me, there is no one thing that can connect all these artworks together, or the work of a certain generation together, because creativity depends on total freedom. And if you are bound by certain elements, let it be the figures or the symbols or the technique or whatever, then you limit the creativity of the artist. And that is why, people mostly tend not to be part of a certain school. So they do their own thing because they want to be free, they want to create freely. And that is why, whatever, even if it happens that certain things does appear, here and there, it doesn't mean that this is a main trend. This is simply by chance. It might happen, but generally, these artists are totally independent. They have their own thing, and they created their own art freely. And you can see that. A certain artist might have certain features, and you can recognize his work as Otaibi or as Ahmed Abdel-Al or as Tajassir Hassan or whatever. But at the end of the day, they do their own thing. They're not part of one school or anything. The creative process, varies, of course, from one artist to another. And you cannot really identify, a shared process between the artists. Everybody has his own preference to how to start his artwork, how to finish it, and during the process, what they do exactly. And sometimes, because especially painting, it is a very private thing. People don't paint in public. They paint in their studios and there. So it might not be easy, to describe the process as such. But you can just look at the result and try to understand how they come to this result. What appears as a metaphor in the paintings, it depends really on the receiver, on the viewer, how to perceive that metaphor, if there is any metaphor. But as I said earlier, to me, whatever is put in the painting is a visual element which is open to different interpretation. So not necessarily what the artist intended in the first place will reach the viewer as he wanted or she wanted. So to me, the visual language is open to different interpretations. So it doesn't really important, to look for metaphors in the paintings. But it might be there, I don't know. Because the metaphor is also connected with the culture of the artist, which is not necessarily the culture of the viewer. So the metaphor might not reach, that viewer at all. If you are creating an exhibition, it won't be really fair, to pick, certain works and talk about them. If it is one artist, then it will be easier. But when you have a group of artists, then normally it won't be wise. At least, this is how I see it. It's not wise really to highlight certain artists and leave the others. But there is one more point, actually, I wanted to talk about. When people look at the legacy of the Sudanese artists and the legacy of the whole achievement of this movement, they tend to relate it to certain schools and trends in the Sudanese history. To me, if you examine, the whole body of the work of the artist, even those who are part of a certain school, like Khartoum school or Crystalism or the oneness or whatever, you don't really find this connection between all these artists. You don't see what bring them together, what can really define them as a group. So to me, it's just a claim. And even Ibrahim al-Salahi confirmed that. Khartoum school is just a name. There is nothing behind it because everybody is doing his own thing. So I don't think that is, and I have an article about this actually. You can go back to see it. So basically, I find that Sudanese artists tend to be autobiographical more than anything else. Most of them, they do their own thing, depending on their own story, their own circumstances. So whatever they produce, you can relate it to their biography, to their, life, but you can't really relate it to others, except in the general terms. Artists always feel that he's perceiving the world individually, not through the lens of any other group or individuals. So they tend to be very individualistic, very, very individualistic. So that is something to be noted all the time. And that is why I argued against the idea that there are trends and schools that you can really define clearly, like Khartoum school or Crystalism or whatever, they call it. So that is what I think. I might be right, I might be wrong, but that's what I think. Sudan is a unique country in terms of that it is multi-ethnic, multicultural, multi-religious, and historically it went through different phases of history. So that gave, the culture a certain tone, a certain definition even, which make it stands out as Sudanese culture. And that definitely has affected the artists. Whoever comes from that background must be influenced by it. So that is why, people tend to see something different in Sudanese art. But this difference is not something that you can say it is unique to a certain group of artists and not to the others. It is, people get affected by different degrees, So Yeah, there is something. There is something about Sudan, but I still see it as something to do with what we see as a result of the creative process in each with each artist. It is not something that you can apply all over the place, So there is something, yes. I can feel it, of course. I mean, there is something about Sudan that you can feel it. Another point, I mean, the idea of having this group of exhibitions, I mean, this number of exhibitions, is because of the current narrative about Sudan. I mean, people know Sudan in the media as this devastated country by civil war, by famine, by destruction, and all the negative things that you can think of. And they forget that there is another face of Sudan, there is another side to this coin. And that is what we brought about the visual art narrative. I mean, to see the other side of Sudan, which hopefully will again revive and become a reality back there. It's just a hope, and we should hope. I mean, because without hope, we definitely don't have any chance of making things. So, yeah, thank you.